Okay, so yeah, those of you watching on YouTube, welcome back to another episode of my Vampire the Masquerade tabletop game. Currently, we have Nietzsche with us, since the others are either gonna be late, as seems to be the running joke of the series, or, well, Serath can't make it today, but, I don't mind since he has a very good attendance record. Last time, the party managed to overwhelm a couple of Toreador that were busy causing problems. And at the beginning of night 10, you should incidentally mark off Point of Blood for waking up. You are invited to attend essentially what will be, well, court, judgment being passed on the two Toreador that have really stepped over the line, one by being turned without permission, and the other one, of course, by doing the turning. So, you essentially have to go pretty much straight there, since it's like right at the start of the night, and due to your low humanity, you wake up like an hour and a half later than a vampire with max humanity would. So, you have enough time to get over there, get dressed properly, get presentable, decide which of your servants you're going to bring along, and so on.
I'm gonna bring Chloe, because Bronson's a bad decision.
Okay. Well, that's fine. So she's just gonna drive you there?
Can she attend? Because I'd like to start involving my ghouls in more vampire affairs if possible. To at least give them the illusion that they could be embraced one day.
The prince sent a message that you can involve the ghoul who was actually there if you wish him to serve as a second pair of eyes for, actually reporting what went on there, but a completely uninvolved ghoul, it's implied that it's not a good idea.
Okay. Geez, I don't know if I want to bring Bronson. I'm afraid of him mouthing off to the prince.
Uh,
I'll have a discussion with him on the way there. So let's bring Bronson.
you have like a -2 or -3 to difficulty of dominating him. You can really make it clear that you don't want that to happen.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay, then, since it's a full bloodbind, you can roll at difficulty 4. I'll give you a nice big debuff on the difficulty. And please give me the sentence or set of instructions that you're actually giving him, to see if he can actually twist his way out of this somehow.
Okay, this is manipulation intimidation, right?
It's manipulation leadership for dominate 2. But I think those are
Okay.
the same for you, so it shouldn't matter all that much.
I'm trying to think what I'm going to say to him.
I mean, you could just reason with him. He believes you value his initiative when it's properly applied. So, you know.
I do. I actually did value it last time. I think it worked out in our favor to some extent, but I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know if I will value his steadfastness in a trial.
Okay, so you walk up to Bronson's room, and apparently he's still asleep. He appears to be badly bruised, and he opens his eyes with a groan. Apparently
I knew I was gonna have to talk to him about this.
he's apparently been doing something well, without your knowledge during the day.
Okay, you want me to start talking to him now?
Well, you can go ahead, he's your ghoul, but yeah, he's been up to something.
Okay, wake up, sleepyhead.
Uh,
See a lot of new bruises on you today. Meant to talk to you about this last time we spoke.
the Russian said I'm not supposed to talk about this.
The Russians now. I had some inkling, some sort of assumption that you might be attending some underground boxing matches.
He gets the shifty eye. Maybe.
Well, as you know, I did make you my ghoul under the promise that you could be stronger, faster, you would live longer, you would have immeasurable, incalculable strength. I don't necessarily mind you fighting, but do not do it in a way that will harm the group. Do not do it in such a way where we will get caught. Or do not, let's just say, be careful. We mustn't allow people to know that you are a ghoul, that you are from our Chantry. And do you understand this?
Yes, yes, I know. I won't use Dominate to cheat again. They thought I fixed the match. They weren't pleased.
See, Bronson, I believe you've been acting out a little more lately, and I'd like to bring you back into the fold if possible. But please don't ever forget reason. You know you cannot use your disciplines, especially around humans. Now,
I'm
just on a side note, out of character, the Russians, I don't think I was here for the Russians. That's just a mafia kind of deal, isn't it? Or is that like a kindred thing?
No, no, no. That's one of the mafia groups. Bacon and Serath managed to get them to leave your club alone. So, but they will expect some smuggling contacts through Bacon at some point. He's planning on calling his sire in Italy and trying to arrange some sort of an underground deal to keep them happy. And
Okay.
possibly earn a bit more money if he can.
All right, that's what I thought it was.
So yeah, it's
Wait.
just you fucking with organized crime.
Okay, I suppose
Uh,
I
you
need to just tell him.
you can
I think I
consider
need to.
you can consider Bronson to be at like 4 points of bashing damage essentially. He'll recover in a day or two, but he's pretty beat up right now.
Your opinion? Do you think that that's going to be something that they're going to note while we're at the trial?
I mean, they're gonna notice he's more or less black and blue on the visible parts of his body, so they'll notice it. But maybe you just disciplined him. Who knows? I mean, they're certainly not gonna complain
Okay.
about him being in that condition. I mean, you're in Sabbat territory, and you have been fighting recently. Like,
Yeah.
if you didn't report an engagement, that would be one thing, but, I mean, you know, hell, you can blame it on the Toreador, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna. I don't know if that would work, but yeah. I think I could, if they call any attention to it, I could lie my way out of it somehow. I need to tell him to get dressed, to wear his best clothing. Do we have a suit that he can wear?
Uh, you picked up like a couple of $100 worth of clothes for ghouls, but, you know,
No suit.
uh, yeah, he can have a cheap suit if that's the form that
I
that
mean,
takes, but it's not gonna be like a first class suit. It's gonna be, the kind a
who has?
student might wear, crappy one.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it Saraf that went out and bought the nice suit?
Well, you all have like $1,000 worth of presentable clothes. Sarath spent an extra 500 to buy essentially gold watches and that kind of crap on top of that. So,
Who bought the really nice suit? I thought somebody bought a really nice suit. I was
yeah,
going to steal their suit.
yeah, that was
Will Bronson fit
Sarath.
in it?
That was Sarath.
Do you
I
think Bronson will fit in Saraf's suit?
Oh, Bronson's pretty bulky. I mean, it's
Okay.
gonna be
Okay.
he can fit in there,
I
but
just
it's
thought it'd
gonna
be interesting. Thought it would be fun and interesting. We'll just put him in like a regular ghoul suit that we could have bought for him, some dress clothes that we bought for him with the extra money that we had.
yeah, sure.
We won't go that route.
Hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and You think the behave would be sufficient? I think it would be.
You want to use Dominate 1? And,
2.
well, you can just talk with him, but...
Yeah, I don't trust that.
Well, you can tell him to behave, but that's... what's behave, right? It's easy to misinterpret. It depends on what he
Okay.
considers behaving, right?
Well, let's just reason with him. Let's see how that plays out for us. Okay, I want to get back into character here.
Let me just check his
Now,
intelligence to see how he's likely to listen. Yeah, he's fine. Okay, go ahead.
Bronson, I've given you enough rope. I'd rather you not hang yourself. We are going to a very important event tonight. We are going to the trial of the Toreador that we upheaved yesterday. We took that we took yesterday, and I would like to emphasize that you must behave. Do you understand what I'm saying? You cannot act brash. You cannot be uncouth. You have to sit there. You have to be respectful. If someone asks you a question, you must answer it. If it's a yes or no question, don't give them details. Just say yes or no.
Okay,
Do you understand?
roll manipulation intimidation on this to see just how scary you manage to be.
Difficulty 4, right?
No, you're not dominating him, you're...
Okay.
Okay. Bronson starts to shake. It's almost imperceptible, it's clear he's trying very hard not to, but he seems terrified out of his mind right now.
I would like to somewhat comfort him, but tell him that I want to get the point across that his fear is not unjustified. That I do have a short fuse right now.
He seems very nervous at this. And he doesn't seem all that comforted. You know, with 2 or 3 successes, it was gonna be just enough. With 5, you probably pushed it a bit too far, and he's gonna be... Well, he's gonna look like a whipped dog now. Not that that's necessarily bad, but you crushed his soul just now.
Oh, I feel bad. Not really. You know, I'm slowly turning into a monster. I did pull a girl by her hair last time, so let's see where we go with this.
So yeah, you should be on the Princess High-Rise map, so you can
Oh,
just...
I also wanted to tell Chloe that she had the night off.
Okay, so Bronson, who has been doing all this good work, gets terrified and Chloe gets the night off.
Well, he's gonna get tomorrow night off. So,
Okay,
and then I gave him the go ahead to go ahead and engage in his underground boxing matches. He can pretend he's Brad Pitt for a little while.
he actually brings out a box of cigars from his drawer, and he asks if you could give them to Raffaello when you get the chance.
I certainly can, and I'm very proud that you corrected this problem. Maybe on the way there you could explain to me whose fault it truly was.
Oh, that was Romina. She said we should take a night off and relax after everything we've been through.
What about do I need to what do I roll to see if he's lying?
Perception empathy. One success will be enough, since he's not actually trying to actively deceive you. It does appear that Romina may well have been the one to float the idea originally, though the others probably were pretty willing to go along, since, you know, they're the
Knew
kind
it.
to enjoy practical jokes, the both of them in their
I
own way.
knew it. Okay. let's get on the road. We're gonna be late.
Yeah, Master, she also thought it would be fun to steal his axe. I don't know, he kind of reacted a bit more harshly than I thought he would. At least to the axe.
Romina is a bad apple. I do not like her. I'm pretty sure it's clear I do not like her. You've seen me behave in such a way that I've never behaved before. She really gets under my skin.
I don't know.
Please,
She...
you understand having what it's like having a short fuse with certain people, I'm sure. She's the one I have the shortest fuse with. I do not want you engaging in much social banter or anything with her. Don't be cold, be cordial to her, but I'd rather you not fall under her influence one bit.
But Master, she knows so many things about how the vampire society actually works, and I
So
don't
do
feel
we.
I don't feel comfortable asking you. You have more important things to do with your time.
I'm going to make myself clear one last time. Did I roll in manipulation, intimidation again?
No, no. He gulps and crawls into the
You,
car, into the driver's
you will
seat.
behave, and you will not speak to Romina unless it is some sort of social interaction. Do not be picking her brain. Do not be falling for her influences. Do not allow her to get you in any more trouble. We are going to allow her more rope to hang herself with. I am very suspicious of this girl.
But Serat seems to trust her, and he's in
I'm going to
charge of her.
I'm going to trust Seraph's decisions, but I will be I will be watching her very closely, and I will tell Seraph what I think of her. But let's go. We're going to be late.
Okay. So, Chloe, the moment you told her that she could go, she was out the door. She just,
Give her $100.
bye, Master, and she's off partying.
There's $100 gone.
Yep.
Let me mark that down somewhere.
Uh, Bronson is actually driving very carefully. It's clear that he's in pain and he's not necessarily at his most skilled. In fact, with the -2 penalty, he's at 1 dot in the... Actually, no, he's not. He's at 3 dots. Never mind, I was looking at the wrong thing. But still, he seems to be a lot more cautious with his driving than he usually is. It seems that he's pretty hurt.
Is there any way I could heal him with my blood?
Yeah, you could if you're willing to spend the blood points. With 3, you could heal him up to bruised if you wanted to, and that would wear off pretty quickly. But it's up to you, you don't have to.
Two points of blood would do what?
It would bring him up to hurt. It would give him a -1, but he could move without penalties, I believe.
Okay, I'm gonna give him the 3 points.
Okay, mark them down then, and I'm gonna remove the damage. I believe it's like 30 minutes for bruise to wear off. You know, if it's bashing, so after the meeting is over, he's gonna be at full strength again. And yeah, he seems to have a heavy revolver strapped to, well, you know, in a holster at his belt, and he seems to have a shotgun on the passenger seat.
Ooh, we do not need to take that into the meeting.
Yes, I was just gonna ask you, Master, if I should. He unstraps the guns and puts them in the trunk. No doubt you having beaten it into his head that guns should not be left out in the open, if at all possible.
Yes. I'm kind of starting worried that something's going to happen at this meeting now. We're unarmed. I have Bronson. Something interesting's going to happen.
You know, any one of these Primogen could probably screw you pretty hard, except possibly the Malkavian. But
Yeah, I'm about yeah, I've only got like 5 points of blood, and here I am like, okay, let's just get it over with.
you
If
can
I
take a
die, I
point
die.
or two from Bronson safely, if you feel that that's necessary.
I'm gonna take 2 points from Bronson.
Okay, I'm yeah, I'm just gonna remember that he's down a few points. It's been a week or so since he last lost a significant amount of blood, I think. Actually, no, it's been less. It's a couple of days ago that they had the big fight, but he seems a bit woozy, but he's fine. You know, just a smidgen
Okay.
dizzy.
Oh dear.
Okay, so you may place yourself in the council hall. Or I can do it for you if you want.
I got it.
There you are. Okay. So you walk up to the secretary, eh?
I was readjusting. I was trying to get my stuff to work.
Okay.
Should Bronson be seated right now, or should he stand behind me?
Uh, the prince motions you to sit as you walk in. At the end of the table, of course, you know, after all the Primigent, who are closer to the head of the table, and he doesn't seem to give you any indication as to what your ghoul should do.
I want him to stand next to me.
Yeah, Bronson is
No,
just,
let's have him kneel. Let's have him kneel.
he's standing next to you shaking. Do you tell him to kneel?
Yes.
Okay, he hurriedly kneels. The bourgeois Primogen
I'm
seems
kind of
to be
nervous.
the bourgeois Primogen seems to be smirking at this display of obedience. He might be thinking that you're trying a bit too hard. And he also seems to have his legs up on the table, clearly disrespecting the prince as any, you know, red-blooded bourgeois should, especially if it's a ventral prince. And the rest seem to be vaguely bored, except for Alberta. She seems to be almost.
She's
She's
always entertained.
she's actually almost slightly nervous, since
Ooh.
she did want to save this particular Toreador for some reason. Okay,
Right.
first things first, and this is the prince speaking incidentally. I had a report from Alberta here that you took care of a masquerade breach which this neonate had committed while on her tail. I she she claims that you reported that all traces were eliminated, more or less. Is this accurate? And what exactly did you manage to do to remove any evidence?
My Seraph would be better at this kind of stuff than me. I'm talking out of character, by the way.
Yeah, well, they might not have asked Zerat because he's turning into a nice little snake under Alberta's guidance.
It's true.
It's pretty clear that he's her pet at this point for everyone at Elysium, so, you know.
First, in character, I want to say first, in terms of what happened, you would get better information out of Seraph. But I could say what I witnessed. We took care of this masquerade violation. I was more concerned about
Nuns.
not nuns. I'm trying to think what I want to say to them without screwing everyone over. Uh, so I'm sort of stumbling over my words a bit here. So I'm not good at the social feats here. Um,
Yeah, the gangrel primogen pulls out a cigarette and lights it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we didn't want to tell him about the Sabbat meeting. Robert, she didn't want us to do that, did she?
You know, Sarath mentioned it in plain hearing at Elysium. That's how he had to take a swim in the fountain. Alberta was
She didn't want him.
mad.
She didn't want him telling that. Okay.
I mean, at this point, he probably knows. He probably has his own circle of pets keeping him informed, much like Alberta does.
I was more concerned. I want to say I was more concerned with her recklessness in embracing a kind, uh, especially since I have two very loyal ghouls whom are vying for the embrace, and we are trying to respect tradition by going through all um, the necessary vetting processes needed in creating a new kindred. I don't like the recklessness that she engaged in.
The prince seems pleased at this. You might have just scored a few points with him. He seems to approve of this message. Go on. You're not.
Masquerade violation was just to refresh my memory. It's been a week. What exactly did we do to deal with the masquerade violation? Because I don't remember that.
You essentially managed to wipe all the hard evidence from the security cameras, but I don't
Oh
think
yeah, that's
you.
what we.
I don't think you remember to mind wipe the witnesses. Then again, it's easier to discredit someone who got his ass kicked if, someone.
Okay, yeah, yeah. In terms of the evidence that we uncovered about her, we were able to manage to wipe the evidence from security surveillance systems. Plus, I remember, didn't I wipe the memory of a security guard? No, I
Uh,
don't need it. It's still.
you
I don't
wiped
need to still
the memory of the guard who saw you going
caught me.
into the one who was keeping an eye on the cameras. So they
We were
didn't.
able to we were able to wipe the evidence away from the surveillance system, and I was able to wipe the memory of our presence in the hospital, in the security room, from the security guard.
Hmm. Most interesting. Most interesting. You know, at this point, the secretary marches in and heads right up to the prince. She throws a glance at you while she goes by. You may roll
Oh gosh.
perception empathy to see just what you read there. She leans over to the prince and starts whispering in his ear.
Is it good
It's bad. It's bad.
for me?
Possibly.
Oh my.
The prince looks over to you as the secretary walks out. Would you like to explain to me why you are suddenly not showing up on any security cameras within the building?
Oh gosh. Wait, I thought I did show up.
You know, as a vague, hazy outline drifting in and out of focus, much like a La Sombra would. He turns to Alberta. I believe you are best at heightened senses here. Make sure that we are not dealing with a La Sombra imposter. And Alberta proceeds to scan you. Would you like to explain how this could happen?
Dear God, man.
You know, I didn't realize at first that this would be a thing, but you did manage to screw up a digestion roll on your diablerie. And then you just walked on in. Uh, Three people seem to be scanning you, including the prince, the Malkavian Primogen, and the Toreador Primogen. Apparently they haven't discovered you to be an obfuscated La Sombra, at least. But the Bruja Primogen has drawn a knife and placed it on his in front of him on the table, and the Gangrel Primogen has grown a pair of claws, just in case you turn out to be an enemy and need to be disposed of.
Suggestions?
Talk fast and make it good.
That's not what I'm good at.
You might not want to come clean about the diablerie right now.
I am not going to. That's why I said suggestions, because you have a little more knowledge of World of Darkness here. So
I'm actually gonna stop and restart recording, so you have 15 seconds
okay.
to come up with something.